Which film would you rate a perfect 10 out of 10? Alien. The first one. Not Aliens. Or Alien vs Predator. Alien. I've always argued that it's a flawless movie. The build up. The tension. The slowly learning about the life cycle of the alien. The plot twist. The fact that the alien is hidden in a lot of scenes and you don't even notice it. And so much more. It's an incredible and perfect horror/thriller and everyone should watch it. The fact that the alien is hidden in a lot of scenes and you don't even notice it. Which ones? The only amazing scene with hiding in plain sight was at the end of movie. I don't recall any other. I'm sure there is a scene where there's some black things dangling from the roof that the characters sort of walk under/through, and one of the black dangling things is actually the alien stalking them. It's been a while since I have seen the film, but I'm pretty sure it's a / blink and you'll miss it, or a / you won't seen it unless you know it's their moment. Your best bet is to Google it and have a look. Really smart and scary that Ridley Scott did this on purpose. For me it gives the alien another dimension to it. Oh, right. When it got Brett it was hiding among the hanging chains. Although it was plainly visible, or maybe I just trained myself to see it after numerous rewatches. You're not supposed to know how it looks before that scene, so it's hard to recognize. John Carpenter's The Thing. It creates such tension through a villain that isn't even on the screen for a majority of the movie. Kurt Russell has a great performance in that movie and he's handsome as hell. All around a great film, and one that I hold all horror/thriller movies against to this day. That ending. My god. It was perfect. The fact that people are still arguing about what the ending means tells me it did something right. Exactly. And if the executives or creators say what happened I'm gonna be mad. Because the whole point of the ending is that it is ambiguous. In the video game, spoiler, MacReady is the pilot who rescues main protagonist. It is implied he is the Thing, because MacReady is believed to have been frozen to death. 12 Angry Men. Such a simple concept, but executed perfectly. I showed this movie to my government students at the end of our judicial unit. Nearly all of them were grumbling they had to watch some old black and white movie. By the end of class, they were begging to stay in my room to be able to finish it that day. I made a couple of students into old movie converts that day. The first time I saw this movie was in a high school physics class. It was the first class of the year, and the teacher made up some rubbish about having to write a news article about the physics involved in the case. But it was obviously just an excuse for him to watch his favorite movie instead of work. I'm grateful to him, because it showed me that good cinema is good cinema, no matter when it's made, and the movie remains in my top 3 favorite over a decade later. First class of the year and your teacher already needed a break? Inertia. I'd say it isn't my favorite movie, but Silence of the Lambs is a classic and just such a great movie. The popularity of Jonathan Demm's movie is likely to last, as long as there is a market for being scared. Like Nosferatu, Psycho and Halloween. It illustrates that the best thrillers don't age. Fear is a universal emotion and a timeless one. But Silence of the Lambs is not merely a thrill show. It is also about 2 of the most memorable characters in movie history. Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter. And their strained relationship. People will say we are in love. Lecter cackles. Roger Ebert. Jonathan Demme also directed the best concert film ever made. The talking heads stop making sense. Monty Python's Life of Brian. It's a powerful statement on human nature, while being timelessly funny, and also contains possibly the best dick joke ever committed to film. If you want to join the People's Front of Judea, you have to really hate the Romans. I do. Oh, yeah? How much? A lot. Alright. You're in. Apostrophe. I'm not Jewish. I'm a Roman. No. Roman, your father was a Roman. Let me come with you, Pontius. I may be of Thomathistans, if they're either Thudden Griffith. The Seven Samurai. I was going to mention this. Just watched it for the first time a few days ago. It made me watch Yojimbo as well. Now I'm trying to find a way to watch Sanjuro. Any other Kurosawa recommendations? Edit, or recommendations in general? Rashomon. Sanjuro was my favorite Kurosawa film. Ikaru. To Live is the best Kurosawa film. IMHO. Few people seriously try to answer the question of what is the meaning of life. But Kurosawa gives his answer quite plainly. The Godfather. I can't think of one bad thing in that movie apart from it being inappropriate for kids. Watched it recently. Other than the story, acting and direction. The score is my absolute favorite. The scenes of Michael wandering Italy. There's nothing else like that. It's a vibe. The good, the bad and the ugly. The film score alone was a masterpiece. R.I.P. Ennio Morricone. Schindler's List. B&W and that little girl in red. One of the most impressive sequences I've ever watched overall a textbook quality movies that needs to be shown to every kid. Well, maybe junior or high school. Interesting fact about that, Olivia, who played little girl in red coat, said she was "horrified when watching the film for the first time at the age of 11, breaking her promise to director Steven Spielberg to wait until she was 18. I can understand an 11-year-old being horrified after seeing it. I'll admit I watched it when I was around that age. I definitely seen it by the time I got into high school, and I started high school when I was 13. And we watched it as a class freshman year. But what I found to be a surprisingly large number of my classmates hadn't. The entire school knew when the freshmen watched Schindler's List, because a quarter of the school spent the day, and the rest of the week, extremely subdued. It was apparently surprising the first year they'd shown it, though. All of which means that I think waiting until 18 seems a little long to wait to watch the movie. I watched it with a middle schooler I nannied after putting her toddler-aged sisters to bed. She must have been 12 or thereabouts. She had a lot of questions when we were watching it together. I'd borrowed the DVD from the library, and she watched it again with her mom the next day, asking even more questions. The Holocaust had been a very abstract thing to her until I showed her the movie. If she'd even known anything about it, I think we'd been watching Freedom Writers the week before that, and she'd asked about the Holocaust Museum that the high schoolers went to in that movie. I think, depending on maturity, middle school can be a very good age to make the Holocaust less abstract. For some people, that might mean reading Anne Frank all night. For others it'll be watching Schindler's List. For others it'll be going to a museum. And for others it'll be a mixture of those things. Or someone else entirely. I don't think a classroom setting is the best place to do any of those things until high school. You want to be able to give the kid personal attention while they digest that the Holocaust happened and what exactly it was. If you're watching it on your own, without anyone to be supportive if you need it, then yeah, maybe 18 isn't a bad age to wait to watch it. I'm from Germany and we get a lot of Holocaust in middle school. One of our class trips usually goes to Krakow in 9th grade, where we visit Auschwitz. And the next year, we go to a well-known city in Germany. We both go then Schiller lived here. But that's only half the reason we go there. We visit War Camp Buchenwald. And when I was there, it was really hard to look at. Way harder than Auschwitz. Anyways. From 8th grade up we have a whole month of the year dedicated to the Holocaust, where every class gets to do tasks related to the horrible activities that took place, and making sure the students understand and don't appreciate what happened. But I'm guessing you are not from Germany, so the Holocaust might be a little more abstract to people from your country. I just wanna let you know that it's a very hot discussed topic in Germany. Goodfellas, now go home and get your fucking shine box. You insulted him just a little bit. So I'm a clown. I amuse you? You think I'm funny? Funny how? Terminator 2 is an 11/10 T1000/10. Alien Sigourney Weaver gives a fantastic performance from beginning to end. The movie has so many one-liners that I repeat to this day with my dad. It's a tradition that we watch it at least once a year. They mostly come at night. Mostly. Game over man. Game over. Private. Hudson is one of my all-time favorite movie characters. Hudson. Hey Vasquez. Have you ever been mistaken for a man? Vasquez. No. /view 2003 have you? The Incredibles. It successfully accomplished everything it set out to do. This film is a 10/10 animated movie, a 10/10 superhero movie, a 10/10 coming of age movie and a 10/10 family dynamic movie. Also it has the greatest line ever delivered by an off-screen character. I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get. https://yow2b/x2 exam. 10/10 music. Seriously one of the best film scores ever. Wall-E. My childhood favorite. This makes me feel old. Same. There are people who saw this movie when they were 8 or are 20 now. The Prestige. Every time I watch it, I find something new. The story is great. And the moral concepts they touch on are explained very well. And leave the last bit of is this right or wrong up to the audience. Yeah, it's my favorite Chris Nolan movie. And also the cast are all on point. Particularly the women, Rebecca Hall and Scarlett. They both have such tough roles, but manage to execute them perfectly. The Matrix. Probably the most defining science fiction movie of the last 3 decades. I got my 24-year-old girlfriend to watch it. She said it was long and boring. I died a little that day. Ex-girlfriend. City of God. Shawshank Redemption. It truly was a Shawshank Redemption. I understood that reference. Tanty. Anytime the movie is mentioned, I always quote this, unless someone beat me to it. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. The Truman Show. That movie fucked me up when I was young. Thought I was on a TV show for years. Glad the producers found a way to make you forget that idea. Don't fucking tell him. Is it your turn or my turn to interact with him on Reddit tomorrow? Hot Fuzz. Why is his hat so far down over his face? He's fuck ugly. Or he doesn't want me to see his face. 'Cause he's fuck ugly. Apostrophe. The Road to El Dorado. Perfect comedy, action, bromance, and music. Always wondered how the fuck that movie was supposed to be a kids movie, even though 2 characters had almost on-screen sex. EHH. Lucky God. Saving Private Ryan. My first thought as well. Tom Hanks nailed it fantastically well. Tom Hanks seems to nail roles where he's a military leader quite well. Just watched Greyhound. Blues Brothers. CTRLF blue subvote. Close thread. Jurassic Park though. I saw Jurassic Park for the first time in 2014 or 2015 and honestly could not believe it was over 20 years old. The special effects are so good. So ahead of their time. Definitely one of my favorite movies for the simple fact that I watch it in complete amazement. Princess Bride. It's got it all and is completely suitable for all ages. My favorite fun fact about this is that Andre the Giant reportedly made all his friends watch it because he was so proud of his role in the film. He was right to be proud. Definitely. He really gave depth to that character. I don't think anyone who hadn't lived as a giant could have pulled it off. I don't even exercise. Full irons. Faisal. I used different voices every time I went in. Berry. What voices? Faisal. One of them is my own voice. And I got one like this as well. Can I have 12 bottles of bleach please? That's a woman's voice. Berry. You've got a beard. Faisal. I covered it. Barry. How? Show me how you covered it. Faisal. Holds hand in front of 5% of beard. Best comedy scene of anything ever. What other voices? IRA they're terrorists. Faisal. Return of the King. Wahoo. Glad I'm not the only one who thinks LOTR should be here, but I root for the first part. All LOTR films are 10/10ths. One of the best original trilogies of all time. Name a better trilogy. Spirited Away. Staying in this room is what will make you sick. Funny. Given the current times. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Brother Maynard. Bring out the holy hand grenade. 4 shall thou not count. Neither shall thou count 2. Excepting that thou proceed to 3. 5 is right out. Also. Happy Cake Day. English pig dog. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster. And your father smelt of elderberries. Why of course I'm French. Why do you think I'm speaking in this ridiculous accent? If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. We have new videos every day. Stay tuned for more coming up next.